Hello everyone and happy holidays. We are here, we're doing a best of show today. I am Andy Hoig, your host and publisher of Metro Magazine. So looking over the past 6 months, we're going to rerun and relook at the interviews that I had with Cale Farron, Dave Wingert, and Travis Freeman. So enjoy a look back. Hello everybody, I am here with an amazing human being and an amazing human being's mother, who's also an amazing human being. But I'm so happy and excited to be here with Cale and Brittany Farron. Thank you for coming on the show.
No problem.
Thanks for having us.
You're welcome. Well, we did a story in the current issue that just came out on you. You were our first youngster, our very inspiring person. I've got to know you over the last couple years and just kind of I've watched your journey and seen what you've been doing, but new and exciting things are popping up all the time. But let's just first go back to when Cale was born. Brittany, tell us a little bit about that, because there's some challenges that he was kind of thrown at.
Right, and it was all a surprise.
Yeah.
So when he was born, we just found out about 10 days after birth that he had a disorder called Fanconi anemia. And that leads to bone marrow failure, all sorts of cancers. It basically deteriorates the blood quality for him. So it's been a challenge. He's had over 27 surgical procedures since birth, and that's all been just basically maintenance, just to kind of get him to where he can function and be happy and healthy. So this right now is the healthiest time of his life, and we're super excited for him to kind of embrace everything that's coming his way, and
absolutely,
we're just living life to the fullest right now. So
that's amazing.
It's
and
great.
Cale, how old are you?
I am going to turn 12 in September.
Okay, well, happy birthday early. So I know in the story we talked to you, one of the things that you say, if you can dream it, do it.
Yeah.
And tell us about some of your dreams that have actually come to fruition.
Well, TV, for instance, that has always been a dream of mine, and here I am.
Here you are.
Yeah.
And I read in here too that you saw something called, or you heard on the radio, it was the international presentation of performers, and he urged you, Brittany, and Dad, to try out.
Yeah.
And you did. So was that kind of the beginning of when everything started to happen?
it was, yes. And that was one of the where Scouts came to town, and we all know what potential that could be, and just,
absolutely
something different. So I took him reluctantly, and it was just a home run for him all the way through. So yeah, it was great.
Because that included both acting, because you got an acting agent, and then you got a modeling agent and an acting agent.
Right,
yeah.
right.
So
Talent,
so what are some of the shows that you've been on? What are some of the things that you've done?
I've done Teachers, Nicky, Ricky, Dicky, and Dawn. So.
A Target commercial.
Oh yeah, Target.
And you've been for the Blue Jays?
Yes,
Right?
Meet the
Okay,
Blue
yeah.
Jays.
I know that Creighton's been a big part of your life over the last few years. So what do you do? What do you do with them? I mean, you go down and cheer them on, but what all do you do?
So it's called Meet the Blue Jays.
Okay.
And I just go down and interview them and just talk to them.
And do you like give them some good insights and some
Yes.
inspiration so
Yes.
they go out and win those basketball games?
Yes. I have so much fun with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're really great people, just as human beings. And the biggest thing, the message with that is more for the guys to see, there's life bigger than basketball.
Right.
And just to give them some motivation. And a lot of the players always tell me that if Cale can get through what he's been through, we can get through this tough competition. It's just something inspiring for both of them.
Right.
And it's really neat to see these big guys in those little preschool chairs. And
I'm
just
sure.
kind of hopping around like, kangaroos or whatever. It was great.
So you just got done filming a movie, and you actually were talking about you did some refilming over the weekend or reshooting over the weekend. So the movie is.
It's called Nesting Doll.
Okay, and it's scheduled to come out when?
It should hit the film festival route. So their deadline, first goal is to be in Sundance.
Okay.
And then Sundance Film Festival, if they're going to submit to that, and then some of the bigger ones, Canes and others, So Nikon Nicole Kahn is the director, sorry, of the film, and she really does great independent film work. So it's a movie that has some really good messages in it, which we're really excited to be a part of.
So what, can you tell me some of your favorite parts of doing the film?
You know, just meeting everyone, you know, being in that environment is just the perfect spot for me.
Yeah, I know. And we talked, and I hope you don't mind, we talked, you had to go do some reshooting this weekend, and acting involves that emotional element, and sometimes you really feel what's happening. And there was a scene about bullying, I believe, that that you had to get into that mindset, and that was kind of tough, wasn't it?
Yeah, very tough.
And so the movie really highlights the challenges of being a special needs child with a single mother, and so all the medical stuff hits him really close to home because he's been through so much. So getting hooked up to the equipment, and you know, that was pretty hard. That and the bullying scene, I think, is the challenges.
But that just great actors. They embrace those roles, and they are so, you know, in tune with them, and really being able to get through it. So congratulations.
Thank you.
I mean,
Thank
that's
you very
huge.
much.
Especially for 12 years old, my goodness. 12 years old, that's awesome.
It was hard.
I know we can't talk too much about this, but there is a TV show that's you're working on, and when will you be able to tell us anything? Okay.
I don't know, but we can say that we're going to Canada, and that he's got a leading role in a TV series.
Okay.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's super excited. So it's a great opportunity for special needs kids, and just the experience is wonderful.
Do you have a Facebook page or a website or something so people can follow you?
Do you know?
Yes. So, yeah, I kind of forgot about all of it.
So your Facebook is at Cale Farron Superstar.
Okay.
And then Instagram is his primary, and that's
Cale Farron.
And your website is?
My website is www.calefarron.com.
Yep. And then on YouTube, he's Cale TV.
Yes.
Okay. Oh my gosh.
I know.
Love that. I love it.
Yay.
So as we wrap up here, any words of wisdom that you want to tell people, especially you've had to overcome some stuff, and a lot of us don't.
Right.
We make life so darn hard, and we don't have to really overcome a whole heck of a lot. So words of inspiration.
Show the world who you are. Never be afraid to be a star.
Show the world who you are. Never be afraid to be a star.
That's wonderful.
That is brilliant.
Yes.
So, Cale, again, thanks for coming on the show. Thanks
You're
for
welcome.
letting us interview you in the magazine. And I just wish you the best of luck. You are so
Thank you.
inspiring, and
Thanks.
you
this
just
is
go
amazing.
set the world on fire. You've already started to do that,
Yes.
so just
Get those firefighters out, because I'm lighting it up.
you are. All right, that's a great place to end. Thank you guys for coming
welcome.
on.
No
Okay,
problem.
and we'll be right back. Welcome back. I am here with a very, very dear friend of mine, Dave Wingert. He is a media, radio personality, actor extraordinaire.
Sure.
Has been kind of coming in and out of the Omaha community for a few years, but you've been back for how long?
About 11 years now.
Okay, 11 years. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. But I have Dave on the show today. As many of you know, it is Suicide Prevention Awareness Month. And just knowing Dave over the years, and you know, knowing your relationship and your how suicide has kind of come in and out of your life at a very young age, or with your father. So, and thank you for coming on and talking about this. It's really personal.
Honey,
I mean,
it is personal.
Yeah.
I love talking about it because you reach a certain age where there's nothing to lose, and the more authentic you are, I'm learning that it helps people.
Yeah.
You had a guest on earlier, and you talking about that more people are feeling more comfortable talking, because it's very awkward talking to someone who's going through thinking about suicide.
Yeah.
And whenever I read about teenage suicide, it's just the saddest.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I was in college at Ohio University and found myself in broadcasting, my mother said to me, we were just taking a walk, and she said, "Oh, that's what your father did." And this was the first time she brought that subject up. And,
Wow.
and the father that I knew was Abe Wingert, who was a dry cleaner. And I said, "Who are we talking about?" And it was one of those moments, Andy, that you never forget. I don't think she did it quite appropriately, but she said, "Yeah, your father was in broadcasting and theater. And so what happened to him?" I asked, and she said, "Well, he came to the hospital the day you were born, saw you, went home and killed himself."
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So I was to learn later that that was kind of inappropriate, but now I see it as a blessing. It
Yeah.
still makes me sad on my birthday. I've heard a lot of melancholy.
Yeah.
But whenever I'm driving to the radio station in the morning or about to go on stage, I say, "Thanks, Dad. Thanks for the talent,"
Yeah.
right? But I have, since I moved back to Omaha, gone through 2 bouts, as you know,
Yeah.
with, oh my God, severe anxiety-laced depression.
Right.
And when you go through that, it's just, it makes sense. It makes sense. You hear people say, "The world would be better off without me."
Right.
You know, that's what you're feeling
Yes.
at that time.
Yes.
And you go to professionals, you're a family doctor, and he'll say, "Are you thinking about it?" I said, "Yes, definitely. So I need a little help here." This past time was the best, the one I went through about 5 months ago.
Yeah.
Because I decided to just grab everything by the horns and say, okay, I need a really good psychiatrist
Yeah.
who will be in charge of my meds, and I need a good therapist.
Yeah.
I need to talk about it. And friends really helped too, because I'm one who will call up friends and say, "I'm having a really rough time. I don't feel badly about, discussing it."
Absolutely. And I think too, I think a lot of us, and I've had, thoughts and issues with that, which I won't go into right now, but, that's kind of been in and out of my life. And I've gotten a little bit better at realizing it, being able to reach out to people, being able to kind of know, okay, this is happening, it's going to pass.
You bring up the key that I heard this time, that this is not permanent.
Yeah.
That you're just going through, this is a bump in the road.
It can feel permanent.
Yes, it does.
On many levels.
Yeah.
But it's, the thing is that it's not. It's not. And
When I look back at this last bout, it seems lifetimes ago.
yeah.
Even though it was maybe 4 or 5
Yeah.
months ago. But getting, again, good professional help and getting on different meds,
Yeah.
really, it's like, how did I ever feel like
Yeah.
that? But at the time, you're right. It's the. Oh, I know. There was the church I went to in Seattle, and we had a minister, Kathy Ann Lewis. She's terrific, Center for Spiritual Living. And she'd say, "It's yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil." And she said, the key phrase is, we're walking, we're not setting up tent here, we're not setting up camp.
Yeah.
We're walking, and it's the shadow of, I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. It's an illusion. Because
Yeah.
the sun is there,
Right.
but the clouds are in front of the
Yeah.
sun.
Absolutely. Well, as we wrap up,
Yeah.
any final words? And again, thank you for sharing your story.
Oh, my pleasure. It sounds cliched, and the kids have latched onto it. It gets better.
Yeah,
It
but
gets better, and everybody is. If you feel like you still have a song to sing, that you still have light to reflect,
yeah,
there are lots of people here to help you.
yeah, there are lots of people.
Lots of people, and don't get lost in that self-pity,
Yeah,
because it hurts. It hurts at
It
the
does.
time. I don't like pain. I don't think anybody does.
no. But again, thank you. Wise words. I
don't know
so
how
appreciate, yeah,
Thank you.
so appreciate the friendship and you sharing.
Oh, yeah.
I just, so blessed to know you.
Me too. Me, you too.
Yeah.
Thanks,
So
son.
thank you. And thank you. We'll be right back. Well, welcome back. I am here with Travis Freeman. He is, first of all, a good friend, founder, owner of Bright Ideas, does amazing things with the Salvation Army. We'll talk about that a little bit later with the Tree of Lights campaign. But Travis, thank you so much for joining me.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah. So you were actually one of our interviews in the October issue. You were a VIP in this last issue. And interviewing you, there's so many different facets of you, but we're talking about Bright Ideas and kind of how that all began and also what you're doing that to really contribute back to the community and make a difference. So let's just talk about how did it all begin, Bright Ideas.
So yeah, when I was in high school, and I had a lawn service and I ran an ad in the Thrifty Nickel. I had bought a snowplow and never snowed that year. And I literally went out to somebody's house and they called me up. I got one call off of it and they handed me a trash bag of lights that took me 4 hours to untangle. Half of them didn't work and it took me about 20 minutes to put up the other half. And I figured there's gotta be a better way to do this.
Right.
Than doing it. So, it's one of those things you always come back to, here's the problem, find a solution for it, how can we do this, and if there's a need for it, how can we make it better?
Yeah, because back, when you were 16 years old, what was it? Was it the 70s, the 80s,
well, everything, it was, I graduated high school in '89.
Okay.
So,
all right, so
yeah.
I'm
dating me a little bit.
yeah, but I'm not in a bad way, because so when you were 16, people decorating homes for Christmas was not
It's not at all what it is today.
an industry. That
No,
wasn't even
no.
a business. People
No.
just did it themselves. So kind of like the Christmas Story when the guy's out putting lights on the.
Yeah, nobody
that's-
was out.
Yeah.
There was, we literally were the first company out there. Like when we
Yeah.
told people we decorated homes for Christmas, they had no idea what we were even doing.
Yeah.
So, and that really was kind of my, I thought, okay, if I could create this thing that, and come up with a custom lighting for homes that people like, okay, they would see it and recognize it, that's,
Yeah.
Bright Ideas.
Yeah. Well, talk a little bit more. So you started to do this as a teenager, really created a business. That was your kind of initiation into entrepreneurship, so to speak. So where did it go from there?
So from there, we were decorating homes, we were getting busier. So then as I did not go to college and my friends did, so they were going to Kansas State and Arizona and they were saying, hey, send me some, your brochures. I'm gonna see if I can sell some houses here. So they had sold houses, so we're sending them product. And then I'm thinking, hey, if we can duplicate this from Omaha to Arizona to Kansas City, Minneapolis, we could make this all over the country and even bigger than that.
Yeah.
And so we started looking into how to do that, and we developed this whole training class,
Right.
And this whole other group of people that had the same problem we did.
Right.
That, hey, it didn't snow that much. We still have employees that we need to keep busy.
Right.
So we became this fourth quarter add-on company to a lot of people around the country that had the same problems we did.
So again, this article was just, I've read it several times, but just talking about, how you looked at distribution points, how you saw a problem that needed to be solved, and how it kind of grew. Your business just, I think, has exploded. How many years have you, Bright Ideas has been around for how many years?
Close to about 25 years now.
Okay, wow. And Let's talk about some of your mentors, because we've talked about that, you know, over coffee.
Yeah.
But you have some people that have really influenced you.
Yeah, and honestly, and everything, I think it's from your employees to your mentors, it's the people that you surround
Yeah.
yourself with
Yeah.
are really the people that, you know, help you grow, help you expand, and give you, you know, even visions beyond what you think you have.
Yeah.
And I think when you're around those people, you know, I mean, I was really close with Mike Simmons.
Yeah.
And you know, Willie Thiessen, just people like that that have had huge success in life. And I think when you're around those people, you just you get that same energy. You feed off,
Absolutely.
everybody feeds off the same energy. They're giving energy, you have energy, and then when it comes together, it just helps, you know, project that next level
Absolutely.
of what you want to succeed in.
Yeah, I agree. Let's talk about the Salvation Army and your involvement with what they do each year with the Tree of Lights campaign.
Okay, so I've been involved in them for probably about close to going on 20 years now.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So we used to do it when it was a live tree. We'd go out and do a tree selection, and then we'd decorate that tree. It started at the, actually started just decorating a tree at the courthouse downtown.
Really? Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And actually Mike Simmons was heavily involved in that. And then it became, we moved it to the Crossroads
I remember
Mall.
that. Yep.
So it was a live tree there until the live tree got stuck under a bridge for 3 hours.
Really?
Yeah. So that kind of got us into like where could we have a permanent spot
Right.
and a permanent home and a permanent tree for the Salvation Army.
Yeah.
And that's when I came up with the idea, and they came to me and said, what could you come up with?
Solving a problem.
Solving a problem to design this, to make this work at this location. And that's when we got together and we designed this 75-foot tree with over, you know, like 600 LED
Wow.
snowflakes on it. It's got a 6-foot star on it.
Yeah.
And it's actually become like a beacon of hope actually for the Salvation Army and for the city.
yes.
Everybody looks forward to it. And we actually are moving the tree tomorrow and putting it up Saturday morning.
Okay.
So.
Because again, so that's 90th and Dodge is where it's been.
Right.
And how many years has it been at 90th and Dodge?
I think it's going on the 12th year
Okay.
now at 90th and Dodge.
Okay. Again, it is, you know, that tree goes up and you just look for it. It is a beacon of hope. And why was that important to you? I mean, why is the Salvation Army? What does that mean to you?
You know, I think just it's like it's a local organization, and you can
Yeah.
actually see the need in Omaha, and when you actually know what they're doing
Yeah.
with the money, you can see it happening and you can see it changing.
Right.
And we've actually had employees that have gone through their program
Yeah.
that have, you know, been down their luck, stayed at the Salvation Army, and come back out of it and have had great success.
Yeah.
So it's neat to be attached and know somebody that's actually gone through it.
Absolutely.
And it's not like you give money to an organization and have no idea or can't see
Right.
what changes it makes.
Right. So we've got just a couple more minutes talking about the Salvation Army, just kind of how you got started. I mean, what tidbits of wisdom do you want to leave us with? And that's kind of, I'm throwing you a question that.
Gosh, you know, I learned a long time ago that the worst decision is the one you don't make.
Yeah.
And you're always going to fail at doing something, but you know, it's like you learn from your failures.
Yeah.
And you know, it makes you stronger.
I hear you.
You know,
Yes.
and we've all eaten a lot of mistakes, and you know,
Yeah.
I'm not alone in that. So,
Yeah.
we learn from that.
That's great advice, and I can speak to, yes, I've done a lot of things but making that decision, if you don't make it, you don't.
Yeah,
The experience is not there. It does not open up to other opportunities as well. So.
Yeah.
So how can people find out more about Bright Ideas? Website?
They can go to our website. It's brightidea.com.
Okay.
And we're located on 156th and Blondo.
Yeah.
And we've actually got Santa Claus being dropped off in helicopter November 3rd and 4th at 1 o'clock in the parking lot.
Okay.
So
I'm going to make a note of that.
It will be
Yeah.
awesome to come see that. So that's a big, we get a big turnout for
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for just your contribution to the community. I mean, you're a business owner, entrepreneur, but you really have taken what you do and give back to Omaha and I think probably elsewhere as well. So
Yeah, thank you for having me. It's been fun.
You're welcome. Just great to call
thank
your
you.
friends. So
yeah, that's nice. Thank
so
you.
pick up the October, November issue. You can pick it up at the Bookworm and other places around Omaha. We've got a great story about Travis, and again, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, and we will be right back. Thank you all for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed the show. We'll be back in the next year for new interviews, and have a happy holiday.